I'm not making an excuse. Yeah, I said Dubois was going to be different. And like my son said, I believe it was different. But I believe it was also part of his demise because he was more confident. He was more aggressive. And you don't want to be more aggressive with a counterpunch. Because it worked against him. So I stand by what I said. Yeah, he was better. Yeah, he was more confident. Yeah, he was more sure. He had redeemed himself. He was all those things, and I stick by them like I said. The place where they came up short, 2 places. They didn't connect the fight plan. I'm making this one simple. They didn't connect the technical parts with it. And understanding what my son opened this part up about. That guy is one of the great fighters of our time, maybe of any time. And he's a great counterpuncher. And you can't be overly aggressive with a counterpuncher. Because no matter how confident you are, that confidence, that fire will be snuffed out with a straight left hand counter if you're a southpaw, which Usyk happens to be. And that's what happened. He didn't connect, and there's something else going on here. Dubois is different. I'm not going to get deep into this. I'm not. Some of you can figure it out on your own. Give a little thought to it. But he's one of those guys where you can see he's not always comfortable in certain settings.
The traditional boxing analyst Teddy Atlas responded to the Usyk versus Dubois, the second fight, with a mixture of respect and technical expertise, with his usual keen eye to detail and praise to Usyk.
Body, he hurts you when he hits you. And he's young. Usyk's getting older. This is a dangerous fight for Usyk.
Atlas made it clear that this was not just a sequel to a prior film, but a strong assertion of high-level boxing among elites. In the case of Atlas, it was an encounter of strategy, skill, and mental toughness for Usyk.
He would be in danger of really getting caught by surprise. But I don't think a winner like Usyk gets caught by surprise. I just don't think that's in his DNA.
Gareth A. Davies, in his dedication to TalkSport Boxing, gave a mighty and lyrical critique of Oleksandr Usyk's expertise in his rematch with Daniel Dubois, and he did it in full blood, without holding his words or thoughts. From his point of view, Usyk not only won the fight, but he also made it a lesson in pure dominance.
Yeah, you said you saw a little bit of greatness. I thought we saw a stadium full of greatness, and he goes out into the night, like all the people here tonight, knowing that a big debate will rage now as to where he actually sits in the pantheon of the all-time heavyweight greats. I thought he was astounding from beginning to end. He discombobulated, he mesmerized, he'd used his magician skills against Daniel Dubois, and it took him under 15 minutes. He was brilliant from first to the last. I take nothing away from Daniel Dubois, because he did what he had to do. But for me, we watched majesty tonight.
This rematch delivered more an opportunity to bring reparations to the wrongs done in the former encounter, and an opportunity for Usyk to assert his title as the best heavyweight of his time. Spencer Oliver was an emotional observer of the explosive performance of Oleksandr Usyk against Daniel Dubois in their rematch, and he shared his own ideas, making a post-fight comment on this fight to TalkSport. He compared Usyk with the greats of history, and the idea he planted there is that Muhammad Ali is the greatest icon, and Usyk has conquered several divisions and dominated this fight, so he is among the greatest to have ever done it.
He absolutely picked him apart. You know, you're talking about greatness. Yeah, Muhammad Ali will go down and he'll always be the greatest. But let's talk about who's the best. And Oleksandr Usyk, his name is right up there, right? You don't become a 3-time undisputed world champion, do what he's done, jump through the weight divisions, beat everyone of that era. And that performance that he put in tonight was the best Oleksandr Usyk I've actually seen. I think that you got to put him up there, man. That was phenomenal.
After praising Oleksandr Usyk, Spencer Oliver had to mention the critics of the admirable boxer, who included the critics of the champion, who were worried about his age and wars on the ring. He stressed that Usyk appeared fresh and was tight and youthful in the ring, far away a fighter who was past its best. Usyk, to him, did not just win, he eliminated all doubt, and what was supposed to be a risky fight looked seemingly easy.
People talking about age, you know, was he showing signs of wear and tear after the 2 Fury fights? Well, he answered all those questions. He looked young, he looked fresh, and he made a potentially difficult fight Easy.
Eddie Hearn was impressed by Oleksandr Usyk after he knocked out Daniel Dubois with a right hook, and was even more clear in praise as he proclaimed the Ukrainian boxer to be a generation great. Having made straight judgments, Hearn also recognized that Usyk did not only impress during his performance, but that it was the type of a performance that leaves an imprint in history.
Just, you're talking about one of the great generational. I watched the first 2 rounds, and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided, I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable. Just a true generational great.
Hearn emphasized the ability of Usyk to be tested and to overcome these tests, and then to make a distinct choice to take everything under control. He also pointed out that defeating premier fighters is very difficult, but overcoming them twice, and conclusively the second time, is what makes Usyk stand above everything and be a certainty of something special in boxing.
Usyk's just phenomenal. I mean, what a fighter. Like, if you watch that fight, Usyk was under pressure in the first round because Dubois comes out fast like he did against AJ, and if he catches you, you're in trouble. And I think just after that, he just decided, basically, I'm not going to go on the back foot anymore. I'm going to take the fight to Dubois. And he just kind of beat him up. And obviously stops him. I mean, he's beaten AJ twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Unbelievable.
As the battle was in progress, layers of tactics became more advanced. Usyk adapted and focused on quantity less and more refined combinations, some offense and some movement to elude Dubois. In the interim, Dubois was pounding away at the body and trying to sever the ring as he tried to engage Usyk into a more brawling situation. Adam Catterall offered a passionate breakdown of Oleksandr Usyk's accomplishments following his emphatic victory over Daniel Dubois in their rematch. Speaking with visible admiration, Catterall emphasized the magnitude of Usyk's achievements across weight divisions. He pointed out that Usyk didn't just win titles, he conquered divisions, unifying belts on foreign soil, beating top fighters in their own countries.
This guy was the undisputed champion at cruiserweight. He did it all on the road, beating all the best in their own back garden, unified all the belts. He's then come up to heavyweight. Now, the other weight jumps, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds. He's jumping up 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 70 pounds, and he's demolishing guys. He's not just beating them once, he's beating them twice, and the second time, he beats him even more convincing than he did the first time around.
By the middle rounds, the shift was visible to boxers and analysts watching. Dubois could not match the precision of Usyk. The scores were turning to the side of the Ukrainian, and the spectators could feel that history was being made. Usyk started to land combinations more often despite the pressure of the supporters of Dubois. Eddie Hearn was impressed with the way champion Oleksandr Usyk dominated the ring to get on top in the element of psychology. He pointed out Usyk as an ideal fighter to be studied, especially because he not only applies physical skills in fighting, but also in his psychological approach to his rivals. Hearn cited how Usyk, against a visibly larger and stronger Daniel Dubois, did not feel the need to panic.
Lesson and, I mean, obviously role model to all fighters, but the way that he controls a fight. So comes out for the first round. Dubois looks massive, strong, powerful guy. And the one thing you can't allow Dubois to do is get any confidence. You've got to take his confidence away. You've got to make him think. You've got to make him work. You've got to land a hard jab. You've got to make him question himself.
Eddie complimented his reasoning by specifying how early in the fight the strategic choice was undertaken by Oleksandr Usyk in order to take control over the situation and prevent any minuscule confidence building by Daniel Dubois. He said that as Usyk realized the threat that Dubois posed, he decided to make his presence felt by occupying the middle of the ring and pressuring him.
And in that first round, Dubois comes out the aggressor, right? Big, strong, rough and tough, puts Usyk on his back foot. You even see Usyk's face, you know, like he's really concentrating, and basically says to himself, I can't afford to let Dubois do that to me because otherwise it's going to be a long night. So I'm going to just take the middle of the ring now. I'm going to start pushing him back. It's so draining. And the one thing it's quite easy to do to Dubois actually is just drain him over time as you take his confidence away from him. And then the second round, he just kind of flipped things round straight away.
Eddie Hearn ended his response by paying the utmost compliments to Oleksandr Usyk, declaring that what Usyk did to Daniel Dubois he had never seen before is phenomenal. In his comments, as he pointed out that Dubois is a real and dangerous fight, he stated that Usyk is at another level when it comes to skill and ring IQ. He claimed, Dubois is a serious fighter. I don't think he's skill-wise up there with Usyk, but to do that and just stop him and batter him, just phenomenal, phenomenal. There is absolutely no question in my mind who is the pound-for-pound #1 in the sport at the moment. The rematch climaxed during the last rounds. Usyk, indefatigable and composed, remained to outpoint Dubois. He played into his strengths, stamina, flexibility, and generalship inside the ring. Dubois, on his side, did not give up. Later, he became a rallier. He took on physically, but the rounds had been lost. The moment the last bell was rung, there was no second drama. It was just to confirm that Usyk had once again displayed another masterful performance through skill, mind, and heart. David Adelaide resurfaced the performance of Oleksandr Usyk by criticizing the entire doubt still held around the Ukrainian star, even despite the fact that he demonstrated his worth many times at the top. Adelaide felt surprised that Usyk continues to be doubted even though he is still coming up above and showing high-level results. Meanwhile, he thanked Daniel Dubois for coming in and taking the challenge.
Good fight. I think Usyk keeps proving himself. He gets doubted a lot. And I think he's proven himself so many times that it's kind of crazy that people doubt him. But you got to give credit to Daniel for getting in there. He tried a thing. And more credit to Usyk for pulling it off time and time again.
David Adelaide further proceeded to state that Daniel Dubois appeared to be a man stuck in his mind during the fight. He noted that Dubois was overthinking in consequential situations, and it is which caused hesitation and gave Usyk an opportunity. Although Dubois did land some punches and made attempts to make things happen, Adelaide said that too much time given to Usyk is a fatal error.
Daniel was thinking too much. There's times when I could see Daniel being a bit hesitant. He was sitting there thinking. He did let his right hand go and he did throw a lot of shots, but I think sometimes when you overthink it, you give Usyk too much time. And when you give Usyk time, you kind of let him play at his own sort of pace. Usyk established the jab from like the first 30 seconds, which was, you know, look, like it just shows his level, right?
But this fight was not just another win. It has put Usyk's legacy to an untapped level. In knocking off a second time Dubois, he silenced a thundering chorus of observers who thought he was existing on youth or being deprived of the real heavyweight elite. Lennox Lewis said that Usyk made no mistakes and approached the fight with discipline befitting the top of the industry. Moving to Daniel Dubois, Lewis noted that the last fighter might have started too aggressively, especially in the first round.
Great win. You know, he did the right things. He did a lot of good things in the fight. I thought Daniel came out a bit too strong. You know, should have took him his time, especially the first round. And, you know, he was overreaching a little bit and he got caught.
Lewis went ahead to say that he was impressed by the unbelievable abilities of Oleksandr Usyk, saying that his performance was spectacular. However, Lewis, being a former undisputed heavyweight champion, could not push aside such thoughts as to what would have happened had he fought Usyk during his own era. He expressed his desire to fight Usyk and said, "It's phenomenal. I wish I were in this era to box because I would have loved to box him. And I can't see why nobody can't figure him out. I would be able to figure him out." Analysts started ensuring that Usyk's name is packed in when you talk about the greatest ever, not because of his knockout power, not because of his size, but because of his ring's intelligence, flexibility, ability to navigate between weight divisions and knock out world champions in various weight divisions, including Joshua, and now twice having defeated a younger, more formidable Dubois.
Is the best of this era, and he does the right things. He moves well, he doesn't get hit, and he's elusive. And he's hard to beat.
Lennox Lewis stated that Oleksandr Usyk is the best fighter of this generation. He added that the key to Usyk's success is doing everything right at a very basic level as he moves well, defends well, and is difficult to hit. He advised Daniel Dubois to keep up the pace and said that there is still a lot of room for a great boxer like Daniel Dubois in boxing.
Keep up with boxing, you know, this shouldn't, you know, he should learn from this and bring it to the next fight. I don't think he should quit. I think he's got a long, good life in boxing.
Usyk versus Dubois II will not be remembered by many as a demonstration of knockouts or fireworks, but as a demonstration of mastership. It was a fight that was being compared with other strategic masterpieces of all time. Immediately following the fight, Daniel Dubois was also humble and sportsmanship regarding his post-fight statements. He realized that Oleksandr Usyk dominated him and admitted that though he tried everything he could, there were a few places where he can improve. Dubois did not find any excuses or trivialize the victory of Usyk after the loss, promising to bring all that is needed the next time. He added, "I have to commend him on the performance. I gave you everything I had. It just wasn't, probably a few things I could have sharpened off on, but I'm taking no credit from the man. I'll be back." Oleksandr Usyk said he was content about being where he is in his boxing career. He used to speak humbly in his quest to be always better, as he said he is always geared towards development and perfecting his work with even his best moments in life.
I'm very happy what I have now in my boxing career, but I continue training, I continue улучшать. The better? Yeah, the better myself. I don't know. It's just my weight.
Jake Paul praised the Ukrainian champion with honesty. He acknowledged Usyk's elite skill base and ability to perform under pressure, praising how the heavyweight destroyed such a hard puncher as Dubois. Paul, who has spoken louder and louder about top-level boxing, admitted that Usyk was not only dominant in his display, but had shown that he was a fighter at the very peak of the game.
No, I'm just super happy for Usyk, inspiring, silenced a lot of people, and he showed that he's one of the top 3 all-time heavyweights.
Do you think he should fight Fury in the trilogy? What do you think he should do?
Man, I don't even know who that is.
We saw Frank Warren commentating on his appreciation of Oleksandr Usyk showing ability, and he would have made it in any time. The coach referred to Usyk as a remarkable athlete and could not talk highly enough about his performance, but also how he managed pressure in such tough situations. It was actually a very competitive and enjoyable fight up to the last moment, Warren added.
We witnessed one of the true modern-day legends tonight in action, and he was a superb performance, winning his IBF belt back and retaining his other 3 belts. Oleksandr Usyk, for me, a heavyweight in any generation, would be an outstanding fighter, and I take my hat off to him in how he coped and how he showed such mental resilience in the other guy's backyard, and he's something special. He's a special fighter. I thought up until that round, I thought it was a pretty good fight to watch.
Warren did not fail to console the young heavyweight by indicating that it is normal to experience losses along the way of a combatant. He noted that Dubois is just 27 years old and that he is yet to mature further, comparing it with the case of the British boxing legend Frank Bruno, who lost 3 times before clinching a world title on his 4th attempt.
And Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27 years of age. Look back at, Frank Bruno, for example. 3 times he fought for the world title, and he got it in the fourth attempt. And Daniel, he's won a world title, so hopefully he will come back and learn from it.
Tyson Fury responded to the knockout victory of Oleksandr Usyk over Daniel Dubois in the rematch with a touch of bravado and awe. Fury posted an enormous shout-out to Usyk, giving the Ukrainian credit for his shock and awe demonstration and the masterful athleticism.
Massive shout-out to Oleksandr Usyk. Did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come for a good tear up. So congratulations to both men. But Oleksandr Usyk knows there's only one man who can beat him. I've done it twice before, and the world knows it. I've been good and proper without any Vaseline on, and I've took it like a man.
But once again, in typical Fury fashion, he soon moved the focus, saying that Usyk knows full well that there is one and only man who can defeat him, and that is none other than Tyson Fury. His response was a combination of the impressive nature of Usyk and a reference to the fact that the incomplete business between them remains looming large in the future of the heavyweight division.
And here's me, not f***ing around at some boxing match. I'm out on the f***ing road running. But I'm running tonight.
I come home, I done my job, and I got myself back, and I am the man. I'm the fucking Spartan, and no matter what anyone wants to say, I fucking won them fights. Guaranteed 100%. There's only one man. GK all day, every day.
In a post-fight interview with Frank Warren, the former discussed what might be next for Oleksandr Usyk, who managed to defeat Daniel Dubois via a knockout. He was interested in seeing a fight between Usyk and Joseph Parker, and said that Parker had received his opportunity since he had been on a run of wins after wins in recent matches, similar to the way Dubois had done before his rematch with Usyk.
You know, like being a small guy, he's what was he, 16.5 stone tonight, whatever he weighed in at. You know, I look back at Mike Tyson wasn't a big heavyweight, Vander Holyfield wasn't, David Haye wasn't. You know, you look at so many fighters over the years that have come up through the weights and done what they had to do.
Meanwhile, Usyk has no idea about the next fight. All he wants to do is go back and have some time with his family, which, according to him, he hasn't seen in more than 3 months.
Now I wanna rest. I cannot say who my next opponent today, because I prepare 3.5 months. I not see my family, my wife. Every day I live with my team with 14 guys. Yeah, in one house.
Oleksandr Usyk is yet again a generational great. He provided a combination of top-level skill, cold collectedness, and ring IQ that was at that level it needed to be, to the point where he went by the closing time buzzer. But this is not the end of the road. Following the monikers of Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker, the query at this moment is the following: who and whether anyone can break the code of Usyk? Drop your predictions in the comments and make sure to hit that sub button so you are locked in the next installment in heavyweight history. The king reigns yet, and how long?